remember that thing I said where I was gonna do restart Appalachian Adventure from scratch? Yeah, yeah, me too. Cute idea, right? So I lied. We're in phase 1. Yeah, so I toyed around with doing all the way from scratch, and it's too daunting, too tedious, and if anything, I get discouraged because the way I build is I'll lay out a ton of stuff and go, oh my god, this park is gonna be huge, this project's gonna be massive, and then I get discouraged and I opt out of it. So I was like, okay, not gonna let that happen here. Well, it happened here. So I just went into phase 1 like the last 2 days, and I've been retrofitting and moving buildings around and retheming and stuff. So I think we'll just start from there. Again, I mean, it sucks. Like, dude, it does suck because I did have a lot of stuff done. I know it's easier to say than like prove it. I got like screenshots, and I might throw together a video one day of kind of just going over screenshots of what we had in phase 2. But I'm using those on my other monitor to kind of like gauge, kind of recreate where we were at and stuff, and use them as reference photos. So that helps a bunch. But really, all we're doing today is just going through Settlers Avenue, tearing stuff down, building stuff up, and making it look nicer. We kind of redo the front plaza. And one idea I really want to implement, we're going to do it here, and I did it in phase 2, but you didn't see it. How convenient, right? Is I want to do an emporium. You exit through the emporium to get out, like full Dollywood style. And the way it's routed, and you can kind of see it in this time lapse, is it's kind of routed so that you can exit and then it'll spit you right out next to the tram station. And that wasn't intentional, but it works out beautifully. So we're gonna do that, and I think these next 2 episodes, or at least the next episode, will be just kind of finishing up Settlers Avenue, and then we're gonna head over to I got notes. We're gonna head over to Franklin County, and I'll show you some work that I've been doing on Iron Bandit. It looks a little bit different if you can't tell. And then from there, we're gonna go back into Handyman Hills, and just tie it all nice from the front to the back, and then expand from there. So a lot of collabs on the horizon with this project as well. The handsome and lustrous Mr. Shadow Phoenix has been apparent. I didn't know you were still working on it, Chris. I had no idea. Like he started building this really dope, this really cool Whiskey River water ride sport. There's a video on his channel. I'll link it down below. So if you still have it and you're still interested, I would love to put that back in here. I want to do some buildings in Silverwood still. Been kind of upping my building style. And then I got a lot of like Thuzy coaster nerd friends. I mean, you all know how I feel about coaster enthusiasts and just the whole aesthetic that comes with that hobby. But I got a lot of Thuzy friends who don't touch children, and they know how to build like really smooth, awesome roller coasters and Planet Coasters. So I'm gonna tap them and get them to come and build stuff in here, complete some layouts, what have you, whatnot. And really, just the more I'm kind of relaxing and getting a little bit older, I'm kind of like realizing I don't need to have full creative control over everything. So I like outsourcing more than anything, honestly. And then I can pick and choose kind of what goes where and dictate the overall layout and design and feel of the park. So that's kind of what I like to do. I'm not saying I have a boss personality, but oh my god, your mom works for me. Anyway, yeah, just tying everything together, making it look nice, getting it up to par and up to standard with how nice it should look. I want to make it functional and stuff. For those of you that did download phase 1, it wasn't functional at all. But that's actually an important aspect of the game I really kind of neglected there for a while. So we'll definitely make sure this park is functional, put down the barrier fences, all that good stuff, do some interiors. So yeah, it is very nice because seriously, the whole like throughout the lifespan of this channel, it's just been really 2 projects, and I'm cool with that because I have ADHD out the ass. Like I'll take naps on 30 milligrams of Adderall. It's bad. But the fact that I've been able to stay like relatively focused on these 2 themes is kind of cool for me. So my therapist will be proud. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. So I'm really looking forward to this theme. I mean, again, we have, boys, when I say we have notes, like, we got notes. Oh, fuck. We got notes. I have like portfolios of these things, and it's just all ideas, names, and thematic elements and such. We've been referencing this little bookshelf right here, hardcore. Just, old pictures, picture theme park books, theme park history, all that cool stuff. This is like a roller coaster, like theme park nerd haven. I got books out the ass on this stuff, and I've just been reading like crazy. It's very nice. It's very zen, and just a lot of vintage theme parky goodness. So if you guys want to see some of this stuff, let me know. I'll definitely tap the lady friend to get behind the camera. But doing a studio or an office kind of tour, that'd be kind of cool. But let me know. Anyway, about done here. I really don't have a whole hell of a lot to say. I'll see you in the real-time overview. Timestamp down below in the comment section per usual. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. It's nice. It's always nice to kind of come back from a few months and still be able to rack up the traffic on these videos that we do. And it's not a lot, but to me it means a lot, because the fact that people are taking time out of their day to watch this stuff, it means something, because, well, these things take time to make. But if I didn't love the process so much and didn't love your beautiful faces and butts, I wouldn't be doing it. So, I love you. I feel kind of sick. My brother and his girlfriend have COVID. We'll see how I'm doing. And honestly, 2 weeks at the university I'm at tells me to sit in my room for 2 weeks and not go anywhere. We both win, okay? Quality content and ego satisfied. So, I love you. I'm gonna make some coffee and read a book and start my day. I got class here in a few hours. Okay, I lied. Not quite done yet. It's tough getting back into the swing of making videos and stuff, especially when there's like a lot of stuff like school and COVID and Chinese economic superiority going on. But so the emporium. I guess this might be the focal point of this episode, is this emporium, because it is something I did have in phase 2 where you exit through the emporium. I was fortunate. I don't want to say smart enough because I'm an idiot, but fortunate enough to save a copy, like a rough copy of the emporium. So we kind of plopped that down here in the location where you're going to roughly exit and stuff. And then we're just kind of cleaning up the path because it's just too janky. It's easier to use the grid system and then smooth out, edges and stuff here just to kind of make it look fuller. And the path doesn't always have to necessarily dictate the layout of a park. Personally, I like putting buildings down and then you fill the path in between. And if, there's some overlay or whatever, it can get covered up. You can put down barrier fences, what have you, and whatnot. I'm wearing a jacket. It's fucking cold. It's really cold in here. And yeah, but just really cleaning everything up, making it look pristine. There are a few other things that we'll go over in the real-time overview, but I think next we'll probably tackle the interior of the emporium and just tie together the rest of these buildings, and then we'll actually go on to building new stuff and working in more interesting sections of the park. But yeah, really just kind of need to check in to make sure I'm staying on track here, because I'll start editing a video and then a day or two will pass and then I'll totally forget where I was at, have to rewatch it, and then realizing that, piecing everything together is a pain in the ass, and then you get a shit show like the last Appalachian Adventure. So don't get stoned and meme the fuck out of your videos, boys. Really, it's fun at the time, but you don't remember a damn thing, and then, well, you're embarrassed, paranoid, and shitting a lot because you're eating too much. So try and stay clean. I don't know where I'm going with this. Drugs are bad. They're bad. Make love, life, and happiness your drug, I guess. I don't know. I'm on some hippie enlightenment shit. Can't you tell? But all right. I think. Okay, now we're done. Cool. Real-time overview starts now. Okay, gentlemen, so quick overview. I neglected having the little screen down there just because with my stupid face, because I want you guys to be able to see everything we have to offer here in Appalachian Adventure. So I guess the most notable things and differences you might notice are these little kind of towers. These are off the workshop. I'll link them down below in the description. And the idea behind these, I just wanted something different, kind of something that makes it unique and its own. And they're placed throughout the park, and with the terrain, once it's all kind of filled in, it'll be in a valley. So it's kind of this idea that there's water towers all throughout the valley at, high points of interest and such. There's one right here, and they actually provide a decent focal point wherever you are in the park. Kind of follow the looming tower, I guess. That's just a kind of overall little aesthetic that we added. Now, I didn't get around to finishing Settlers Avenue entirely, and I think it's going to change to Settlers Square just because it kind of maybe rolls off the tongue a little bit better and rolls out of bed next to your mother. I don't know. It looks a little bit cleaner. So this building right here is, I kind of changed the welcome home, shtick, and kind of figured this would be a nice little focal point once you walk in. You know, you got Bandit in the background with the new lift hill, but that's an episode for another day. And then I went ahead and Settler's Grill right here, what it used to be. This is just kind of a rough outline for a new facade for that, and I wanted to leave open the opportunity for an interior one day. What's good, B? Is your name Tegid Cam? Oh, well, it's about to be much better. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Are we serious right now? Is this actually happening? Let's try it like this. Okay. So, even when you're like leaving the park, you know, that kind of tower draws you towards, you know, the exit and such. And, oh, exit through the Emporium. Now, this isn't done. This facade has gone through a lot of trial and error, and it's very bare bone, but I have an idea of what I want to do with it. But when things get too trial and error-esque, I guess, I don't really like time-lapsing it just because there's a lot of dead footage, a lot of back and forth. So what I'll do is I'll do this exterior off camera and not lapse it, and then maybe do a lapse of the interior. Because we're definitely doing an interior here. I like doing those now. It's fun and it adds, you know, some realism to it. You know, that thing we always strive for, but accomplish on a mediocre basis, I guess. So you would exit through the Emporium, you know, la-da-da-da-da, shut up, buy our shit. And then you'll exit out up this path that needs a lot of smoothing. And you'll spit out right here where the tram used to be. But I kind of got rid of it because I needed to reroute it and such. But we'll have the tram station right up in here. So you just spit out right next to it, full Dollywood style. But I guess we can just take a stroll from the beginning again. Adventure still awaits. And again, the towers, the kind of old abandoned fire lookout towers add a really cool sense of perspective and, you know, a focal point kind of drawing you in and such. And so I finished this. Actually, I'm not going to go into it. I'll do a whole different video on it. But I just finished reading a book that really went in about Randall Duell, and he was just this massive driving force behind, you know, designing parks and focal points and guest flow and all that stuff was kind of his shtick. So I kind of want to implement that where I can, but I think I'll do a more formal, proper video referencing that kind of stuff. So, back at the front plaza, you might notice a few things. Bigfoot doesn't have that god-awful large spine, and we'll do another video on that, and I actually have that whole thing time-lapsed, that whole process time-lapsed, so I'll throw that in with the Handyman Hills video that'll be coming out here shortly. But, yeah, looming giant tower. I don't know how I feel about it. It adds something to the skyline. It most definitely does. Maybe it makes it too crowded, but at the same time, I kind of like that. So, let me know in the comments down below what you boys think, and we will make a final dictation on the towers from there. But it adds something cool. It really does. And here's the oh-so-classic view looking down, you know, the main midway at the mighty Appalachian looping machine right there in the background. So, yeah, I mean, just kind of rescaling some stuff like right here, made this a little bit taller. I gotta finish that up. And then this building right in here will be tickets, because I realized I had neglected to build a ticket, you know, building where you buy tickets before you go into the park. So that's kind of a necessity. We'll implement that in here somewhere, but really just kind of wanted to practice getting back into the swing of things and, you know, using Tudor architecture and such, because you know how much we love that shit here. But, yeah, I mean, it's just not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, again, busy with a lot of stuff, so I try to carve out Planco time when I can, but we're back on the grind and it feels nice. So Settlers Square, we'll go ahead and finish that up off camera, I guess, just because it's a whole fucking process. And then head on over into Handyman Hills, because that's where all the action appears to be. Excellent. I guess we can jump out of Tegid Cam here real quick. We also went ahead and extended this stroller rental because it didn't make sense to have kind of a back storage space that only fit like 3 or 4 of each. So went ahead and extended that for added realism and such. We'll have a kind of a, you know, a employee-only access point right here, and I guess also maybe, you know, in some situation where you can't get into the park or whatever, it'll also act as a, flow around and back out to the parking lot without having to go through the security check and obstruct all that traffic and guest flow and all that good janky stuff. But that's really it. I mean, I kind of wanted to keep the overall vibe from Phase 1 because I did like that. I did like the whole Tudor towers and everything like that. So I'm trying to keep that and implement that where we can. And I guess one more point of interest would be the train station right here. I know I've bitched about it before and its location. So we went ahead and tore out the actual station and left a shell. And kind of, I guess it kind of ties into the history of the park that this would have been the original train station. And then as the park evolved, they had moved it. We'll probably add it over here in Franklin County so we can extend this hamlet a little bit, this little village, and widen the path and optimize all that guest flow, all that good stuff. And yeah, so it's just it's kind of like a cool little thing though that some parks keep up and pay homage and kind of tip their hat to the history of the park. Floating barrels, son of a bitch. But yeah, so you pass through it and it'll be kind of abandoned and blocked off. We kept the path, the rail leading up to it, so it'll kind of just be like abandoned and left to, become one with nature over time. It's cool when you see that in parks, and you see that at Dollywood a lot. And I know Shadow Phoenix implemented it in Silverwood with the abandoned kind of slide ride. Like I know, and Dollywood does that too. They have their mountainside slide winder or whatever it's called is just kind of sitting there, getting consumed and overtaken by nature, such is the cycle of life. So yeah, not a whole really, it's not a glamorous episode or anything like that, but after this one, we'll have this whole front part of the park done, and then we'll start playing around with roller coasters and new buildings and such. But if there's any questions or anything you want to see in particular, go ahead and drop a comment down below. I'll try to get back to you and explain best I can. It's kind of daunting going through a half-completed park, very filled-in map, because so much is done. You don't want to touch some of it, but you also kind of want to redo all of it. So I think I'm gonna have to bite the bullet in some sections and just tear it out entirely and redo it. But I'm not entirely sure on what that might be, what sections those might be. So that'll all come in due time as the project evolves, I guess. But yeah, I guess really the big things that you just need to know is we are exiting through the large emporium over here. We are giving a minor facelift to Settlers Square, and yeah, really, that's it. I just had to make sure I got something out for you guys because I don't want to. I'm tired of doing this fucking dropping 2 videos and then disappearing for like 6 months and promising I'm coming back. We're here and we're here to stay. It's very comfy, it's very cozy, and your mom makes really good breakfast, so I really have no reason to leave. All right, boys, I will see you in Valley America here in a few days. Got a few cool things I want to show you over there, and we will be back in Appalachian Adventure in due time. Maybe a week or so, maybe a little bit more time. It just depends on what I have to get done and such and how life goes. But kind of rambling at this point. I gotta start my day and get some shit done. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I love you, you're beautiful, and have a great day. Seriously, you deserve it. Just put on your mask and wash your hands, alright? Cool. Thank you, and I love you.